welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name's Carmen, and today we're going to do a reading for Sagittarius. Let's call in spirit with some enchanta. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. We are going to get started with the Fairy Lenormand. If you're unfamiliar, Lenormand is a little different from tarot. It has 36 cards in the deck instead of 78. And they have playing cards at the top center, as well as a normal illustration in the bottom center. So we've got the fox and the lily. Interesting. I'm getting some a little unusual messages from this. Basically, I kind of feel like we have a pairing here, a couple, one more innocent or pure than the other, with the fox being the person who's maybe a little bit more prone to getting into trouble or bending the rules, bending the truth. But I feel like there's a dichotomy here in a couple. They have this inexplicable bond, but there's a difference between them. We have the Rider, R-I-D-E-R. And the Moon. So we have somebody that has a secret, and you'll notice that person sitting there looking at the moon is also on, what is it, the stag? So I would say there's somebody here who has some truth to reveal. I feel like there's, for the majority of you, a good chance that this is the feminine energy that has something to say, but that doesn't have to be the case for all of you. There's just somebody here who hasn't expressed themselves. They need to, and they may have to travel in order to be able to do so, or they just have a preference to do so in person. It may not be the kind of conversation you want to have while you're, texting. So I wasn't planning on taking more cards, I just can't stop shuffling. But we did have the last card in the Lenormand come out, which is the Cross. And I remember when I first bought the Lenormand, I assumed this would be something about, kind of like the Hierophant, like conventional beliefs or religious, behaviors, beliefs. But we've got instead a meaning of, well, you can kind of see her. She looks pretty sad. It's like a dark night of the soul kind of situation. And for me, it still does make sense, because when you go through an experience like that, you often do so alone. You very likely cling to or find hope or support in the belief system that you have. So I feel like somebody here has gone through a very difficult period in their life, and it's changed how they view the world. It's changed how they want to live their life. We're going to use the OG to get some clarification here for you. The OG, by the way, is the Rider-Waite. So we have the Ten of Cups in the reverse. We may have somebody who has had a change in their living situation. For some of you, this is a family home that has been broken up due to an end of a relationship. But there's something here about, I don't really see this being a bad thing. I feel like there was a difficult relationship here that may have involved some children that somebody really did try to approach with high honor and respect and do right by it, but it just didn't end up going the way that he was hoping or she was hoping. And as a result, I feel like for whoever I'm reading for, there was some sort of change here in that home environment. But we have Three of Cups coming out. So I feel like there's a reunion that is made possible because of the ending or the change to this living situation. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Swords. It's an interesting combination. I feel like somebody's a little bit nervous about how desirable the person they would like to move toward is being perceived right now. So Sagittarius, let's say that you're, kind of the sweetheart, right? A feminine energy that people see as beautiful, generous, loving, caring, and perhaps you recently became single or put yourself out there in terms of dating. The Knight of Cups can represent a little bit of a heartthrob, and it's clarifying this lily that's just gorgeous, but also makes me think of Georgia O'Keeffe. For any of my fellow art fans out there, you may know the reference, but basically it could be, basically a commentary on the femininity and the beautiful elements pertaining to that. There's a sense that there are multiple admirers for this person, and that this masculine energy may be feeling a little bit of concern in terms of whether or not he can get there in time. Oops, because now we have the Five of Wands coming out. He knows there's competition. So this could be pushing somebody to reveal a truth more rapidly than they were planning on. Maybe this person wanted to be a little bit more settled or a little bit distanced from whatever endings may have happened for you or for that person. So with the Two of Swords coming out to clarify this moon, I feel like there's been some hesitancy here in terms of how to proceed in a situation, because I feel like somebody knew they didn't have all the information. There's maybe been like a no contact situation, or perhaps just like a monitored. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I feel like maybe somebody knew that they couldn't communicate digitally without there being a risk of somebody snooping. We have Judgment clarifying the Ten of Cups, so I do feel like this was an ending or a final call on a relationship, or again, it could be a living situation, but I feel like more so it's like a romantic situation. And then we have the Page of Cups in the reverse. I feel like there are people celebrating the end of this relationship. Maybe like trying to do so respectfully, but there are those who would view this person as having reclaimed their power or their voice when they made the move to leave this relationship behind. With the Four of Pentacles, we know there is somebody who is holding back. There could also be somebody here who is feeling like they're less capable of making big moves because they're saving money, or feeling a little bit like they've, taken a loss. There could be somebody who's looking into moving to another city. We have the World in the reverse. I think there's somebody who is upset that they weren't able to forget someone they love. I think somebody was pretty accustomed to not having a fully engaged or connected relationship, holding a piece of yourself back, maybe juggling somebody else, but there's something here about someone not being able to escape their feelings, like having nightmares about losing this person. It's like a reluctant secret admirer. Like, I know I'm head over heels obsessed with you, but like, I tried real hard to not give a fuck. We have the King of Wands in the reverse, clarifying the Five of Wands. I feel like this is a warning. Whoever's identifying with the feminine energy here, you are going to have multiple suitors, multiple people that come forward with a love offer, ask you on a date, whatever it is. I would really encourage you to take your time, use your discernment, leverage your intuition, because some of these people are not focused on you exclusively. And if you're okay with that, you're okay with that. But if you're thinking people are offering you a committed relationship, make sure you suss that shit out. Then we have Temperance, clarifying the Two of Swords. I feel like the feminine here knows to be cautious and has recently regained her own stability and is not going to be quick to give that up for a relationship. That's you. I applaud you. It's important to make sure we keep in mind what kind of an impact somebody has with our energy. And if it isn't suiting you, if it's going to risk your stability or your happiness, move along, right? Let's grab a different tarot deck. We'll go with the Tarot Familiars. Let's do that for Sagittarius. Wow. So we have Judgment coming out for the second time, and we also have the Emperor coming out. Somebody really reclaimed their power. I really do feel like it was the masculine who stood up for himself against perhaps just feeling like he had to stay in a relationship because of kids or some financial need of his partner. But when it came down to it, he realized that this person was using him and didn't provide him the same level of respect or care that he was offering to her. And with Death in the reverse, she wasn't going to change. So he knew that basically he needed to. We have the Three of Cups in the reverse. This is clarifying the World in the reverse. I feel like this is stating for majority of you, there hasn't been a reunion yet, but that there will be here in the near future. This person's just maybe agonizing over how they're going to actually accomplish this. We have the Chariot in the reverse. For some of you, they may have transportation concerns. For others of you, they may feel like the person who they would travel with is also interested in making you an offer. But there is definitely something here that's causing some delay in terms of this person being able to be there. But remember, we have the Rider as one of the first cards that came out. So there's intent here. This person wants to deliver a message, and it has to do with what they want with you. Ten of Cups. What else do we have for Sagittarius? If this is resonating for you, go ahead and give me a like or a subscribe, please. And we just had the Knight of Wands in the reverse and the World in the reverse. Somebody might be taking their sweet time because they feel like they can rely on this person to always prefer them. But this masculine may have underestimated this feminine's ability to picture her life going well with a different ending. All right, so we have the Lovers, the Hierophant, and the Knave of Cups. Wow. This person wants to make an offer of love and probably also apologize how, things went down. But there's also a pretty clear indication here that they would like something serious with you and that they're concerned about whether or not you would choose them. When I see this wolf, I think of loyalty. In the Lenormand, the dog represents loyalty. But the female here is kind of hard to read. It's like a Kristen Stewart situation. You can't really see what kind of emotions going on there. And in the Hierophant, we have a cat in the female's place. I don't know. I feel like there's something here about the masculine not really feeling like he can fully trust the feminine perhaps because he knows that she's got multiple admirers, right? He might be a little bit jealous. Maybe he saw her entertaining somebody else while he was otherwise connected. We have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, he's worried that this feminine energy, even if she chooses him, would eventually walk away from him. Perhaps he's feeling a little bit of fear as far as, whether or not they're ideally matched. We'll get just a couple of Angel Romance Oracle cards, and then we will call it a day, Sagittarius. What else do we have for Sagittarius? We have romantic feelings and express your love. I like to see it. And flirt. Wow. I like it. So this seems like a pretty obvious green light from the universe. Like this is real. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Go ahead, make the romantic gesture, and extend your lighthearted energy to others. Ooh, Sagittarius. I hope this means you have a hot date ahead of you and that you get some of those butterflies in your stomach. Thank you for supporting the channel and have a wonderful rest of your day.